pop on here today because I know we are in a bit of a crazy time right now, with some schools being shut down for the next few weeks and some schools having been shut down for the remainder of the school year. I wanted to share with you my 4 favorite tips for facilitating communication and language at home, and these are super easy. Parents and guardians can definitely incorporate this into their everyday routine, and it won't be too much of an added stressor. I picked these 4 specifically for that reason, because I know y'all are at home and you're stressed and you got a lot on your plate and you're doing a million different things at once, and by no means do I just want to add on another whole thing that you need to focus on and worry about. So like I said, very easy to implement and probably can be incorporated to things that you're already doing daily anyway. My first tip for parents and guardians is to narrate everything you're doing as you're doing it while you're around your child or the child that is in your care. I know this seems a little bit silly because most of y'all are probably not walking around all day talking to yourself about what you're doing, but I promise it is a game changer. It is the single easiest thing because you're already doing your activities anyway and you're just talking through it. You're exposing your child to new vocabulary, you're modeling language for them, you're introducing them to sequencing of skills, all these different types of things just by saying what you're doing. So for example, if you are folding laundry, we'll use that because I have never-ending laundry in my house. I don't know about you all, but like that's what I feel like I'm doing this whole time. So we've got our load of laundry, we have the laundry in the basket, we're going to fold towels today. So I'm in the room with my child, maybe they even want to help you. If you can get them to help you fold laundry, that's a double win bonus. But as we're doing it, we can take the laundry out, we can discuss the different types of towels we have. We have bath towels, we have washcloths, we have hand towels, different sizes of towels, putting them in order from largest to smallest. And you're honestly just going to talk about what you're doing. However you specifically choose to fold your towels, I myself particularly roll them, so I will fold them in half longwise like a hot dog, and then I'll just roll them up and then stack them on top of each other. But however you do it, just narrate as you're doing it. Children are like sponges, and for whatever reason, I swear they find the most mundane activities very intriguing. I cannot tell you how many parents that I have that talk about their children wanting to help them fold laundry. If only we could like facilitate that when they're older and keep it into adulthood. But like I said, I promise narrating is something that is super simple. It's not anything extra that you have to go out of your way to really do. You're just talking yourself through your daily activities. The second tip that I have to help facilitate communication at home is to expand. Expand on your child's utterances. You are basically going to become a parrot. So anytime your child says something, if it's 1, 2 words, you're going to take that and you're going to build on that. So if your child, for example, points to a car and they say car, or they approximate car and they say vroom vroom, whatever they say, you are going to take that and say, oh yes, that's the red car. That's the blue car. Look, there's a white car. You can do this from the window of your house, depending on how close you live to your neighbors. Or if you have a lot of cars. Personally, I have like a parking lot in front of me, so there's just a plethora of cars that we can use to talk about, especially if your child is into like cars and trucks and vehicles. Perfect activity. You can also apply this to pretty much anything that your child likes. You can do it with different toys, you can do it with blocks, dolls, anything that they point to. You can expand on that. That's the doll with the brown hair. Or if the doll has a particular name, you can address the doll by name, but you're just taking whatever they say and modeling a sentence. You're not asking them to say it back, you're just presenting them with that sentence to kind of get them used to hearing all of that extra language. My third tip that I have to facilitate communication is read. And now, unfortunately, I have a party foul and I have all of my normal sized books at work. Which we are currently not able to visit. So I have this jumbo If You Give a Moose a Muffin book that I will use to illustrate what we're talking about. So I know you guys hear it all the time, read to your kids, have kids that read, sit down at night, and I know it can be tricky, but if you are finding the time to sit down and read a story with your child, it's the perfect time to build upon language and questioning and reasoning and anything of that nature. I love books. If y'all have been around here for a hot second, you know my love for books and how much I like to incorporate them into my therapy sessions. The reason why I love books so much is because they have all of these beautiful pictures. And I use the pictures more than I honestly even really use the words, especially with my younger kids. Yes, I read the story, but we spend a lot of time on the photos, and that is what I recommend that you do with your children when you're reading to them. So much can be picked up from the photos. I can ask questions about the pictures. We can make predictions of what we think are going to happen in the story based on the pictures. We can ask questions, we can sequence, pretty much anything. You can even do yes/no questions. Also, when reading stories, I'm going to give you guys my secret hack that I really don't understand why it works. I don't know the science behind it. All I know is that 9 times out of 10, it works like a charm. And that is to just ask the question that you're asking to nobody in particular. Just put it out there in the universe. I don't know why that works, but for whatever reason, whenever I have a single student or a group of 5, it just gets everybody talking. So instead of asking your child specifically what they think is happening in the story, I use I wonder. If you do happen to have kiddos that are working on specific speech sounds and you are kind of at a loss for what to give them, I do have this digital articulation deck that I created, and you can do it on your iPad or tablet, and it is something that you just tap, and then you can tap on the sound that you want to work on. So let's say we're doing M sounds, and then you can do it either in the initial, medial, or final position. And then it'll just give you a picture with the sound highlighted, and then you can actually tap the check boxes to keep track of how many times they've said that sound or put that word in a sentence. However you want to work it. I will have this linked down below just in case that is something that you are interested in. One thing that I wanted to mention before I wrap this up is that communication is not just verbal output. I know we all know this, but it bears reminding that there are so many different ways that people communicate. So it is not just if they are saying words and sentences. I try to take that emphasis off of that. You have to meet your child where they are at. So don't get frustrated if they are not yet saying words and they can't repeat the things that you're saying. You're just setting those models up. You're laying those foundational bricks for later verbal communication. And I always say that it's like building a house. You can't have the house until you have the concrete foundation. It's just not gonna work. I hope this list was helpful for you guys. It's not everything that I have, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many things that you would have to incorporate into your already very likely busy schedules. Let me know in the comments down below some things that you are working on, or if you do need any help with anything, I would be happy to try to answer those as best I can. I'll see you guys next time when the lawnmen are not weed whacking outside my window. Bye guys.